Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to this very special edition of the Main Event Talk right here on YouTube. I am the main event player, the Super C, and man, do we got a lot we need to talk about. Now I'm going to start off with a little bit of an interesting story. Before I go ahead and tell you about what the story is, I want to thank everybody for watching some of the recent episodes of the Main Event Thoughts that took place, especially the one about Facebook. I know a lot of people have been a little bit interested in the things that I have to say about some of the things that go on Facebook and everything. I got another one about Twitter that I'm going to be releasing very, very soon. It's all about the ridiculous followers, especially the ones I have on my Twitter account, where you easily get like some followers and stuff, but sometimes they don't even know they're following you for some odd reason. And then when you tweet to them, they go ahead and respond by saying, "Who are you?" And then I go, "I'm Furman, I'm one of your followers." And then I get this person responding to me saying, "Don't care," and then blah blah blah. And then I get the last tweet from the same person, where the tweet was that you're like 47 or something, and I don't remember the rest, but my response, I don't think this person's ever going to see the video, but I want you to be very, very clear on this one thing. First of all, I'm not 47, okay? I am a whole lot younger than 47, okay? I'm beyond that. And here's the thing. This is the reason why I don't have twits like you following me, okay? If you're a wrestling fan, that's cool. You're in. If you're an old friend of mine, you can follow me. If you're some hot, gorgeous porn star, which, by the way, I got five that are following me on Twitter, you can follow me. If you're a rock star or a member of a band or anything else of that particular nature, I will allow you to follow me. But here's the thing. If you follow me for no odd reason and you have no purpose in life, then here's the thing. I'm going to put you through the 30-day initiative. And the 30-day initiative means that if you tweet to me for longer than 30 days, then you're in. But if you don't say a fucking thing to me on Twitter, I'm going to unfollow you, and I'm going to tell every certain person all across the world on Twitter that this person doesn't mean shit to me because he's only on his Twitter just to follow, just to have this, just to have that, and not to say a fucking thing. That's how it goes. So to the person, I believe her name is Lindsay or Lanza or whatever the fuck her name is. Here's the thing. I'm glad that you unfollow me because now you got an idea of who I am. You don't want anything to do with me because, number one, I'm the biggest wrestling fan in the world. And number two, I'm the biggest metalhead on the planet. And number three, I got a 10-inch dick that you probably can't handle. So get that straight to your fucking head, you stupid bitch. Now, let's get into what I need to talk about. I know that was a little too much to take into, but you know what? Fuck it. I don't care. It's my show. It's however I want to do it. Now, oh, and also, before I get into what I need to talk about, I know some people were a little bit, like, probably interested in that whole on-road main event talk that if you guys saw, kind of like some highlights from Corpus Christi. Well, I plan on doing another one of the same kind, so I plan on doing something, an on-road report part 2. And this time, I plan on not only during the day, but I plan on showing off a few of the stuff, like going over to Padre Island, or maybe going over by the Lexington, or going by the Texas State Aquarium. I plan on going to a few different places just to make my show a little bit more interesting. Because while people decide to make their show via the internet and sit there like a jackass and start talking a bunch of things that don't even mean a fucking thing, I'm out being creative. I'm out putting something together. I'm going ahead, I'm thought, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and take my Mustang, take my camera crew, take my fucking iPhone, and go ahead and go out and make this show more interesting than it has been in a long, long time. That's what I'm doing, and that's how I'll pull it off. So be ready for the next episode of the Main Event Talk On-Road Report 2. because it could be a whole lot interesting, and who knows, I could probably talk about wrestling, I could probably talk about metal, I could probably even go to Theo's, shoot a little pool, drink a little beer, take a few shots, make you see the life that I lead on the Main Event Talk. Okay, now let's get into the business that we need to talk about. And what we need to talk about is this. Well, I got an interesting story on this that I want to tell you about. Everybody knows about WWE Payback that took place this past Sunday night, okay? Now, that's not the interesting story. The interesting story is this. Everybody was trying to see WWE Monday Night Raw, which did take place and so forth. Now, here's the interesting story. I didn't see Monday Night Raw. And I know what everyone's thinking. I know what it's like, well, goddamn it, Furman, I mean, Payback was this past Sunday night, man. You had to have seen it. You had to have seen what happened. It was epic. It was awesome. It was tremendous. I know it was epic. I know it was awesome. But the problem was, my cable fucked up. You know how you're flipping through the channels and everything else like that, and you're like, you know, you're going through one channel, you're going through another, everything's fine, you know, you got one channel working here, you got the MTV going over here, you got BT, you know, going on this direction, you got Nick at Night in the other, and then you go over to the USA Network, blank. Let me kind of show you how it looks. Kind of like that. Blank. You can't see a fucking thing. So I'm like, okay, how in the world, wow, is my screen a little dark? Damn, can you see me? Hello? Hello? But anyways, I couldn't see a fucking thing. So I go ahead and I call Time Warner Cable. Well, actually, the initial thing, Time Warner Cable is what I have, by the way. It's a better cable outlet than any other cable outlet around. You know why? Because at least Dish Network, at least that cable company, will still have the WWE pay-per-views, unlike Dish Network and DirecTV that will not serve any WWE pay-per-views for whatever fucking reason, I don't know. But anyways, I go ahead, I unplug my shit, and then I plug it back in, and then I'm waiting for this entire time for the cable to build up and everything so I can watch Monday Night Raw. So here I am on Twitter, looking through everything, hearing all the initiatives, including Batista quitting for the second time. Let me see, was that a big surprise for Batista to quit? Not really. Most of us wanted Batista to quit anyway, and then others just know that he has some movie coming out in just about another month. So that's one initiative right there. So just to close out my little story, I'm still having problems with my Time Warner Cable. I just went over to Time Warner Cable earlier, got myself a new box, went in, put it in, installed it, blah, 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 and I'm still having the same problem. Well, the only difference is something came up. Attention, your box is fucked up. You need to take it to a Time Warner Cable company advisor and everything else like that and so forth, right? So, after dealing with this shit for an entire day, which is, yeah, for an entire day, I literally have no cable. I literally have no time to watch any of my favorite shows, from Friends to, what's the other shows that I watch? Steve Harvey Show, Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, whatever. I wish I could have the WWE Network on my TV. Well, I don't have it on my iPhone just yet, but, well, that's a different story. But the whole point is, I'm not going to have cable for an entire day until the cable guy comes in the next day, check out the problem, see what happens. Who knows, there may be a bird or a squirrel chewing on the cable, and it would cost me about $150 just to get that shit going. Well, not really, but I'm just, you know, agitating on everything. But let me get into what I need to talk about as far as what happened on Monday Night Raw. Well, actually, let's talk about Payback. I love what happened at Payback, and most of my predictions have pretty much came true, including everyone that has now bitched, whine, moan, and complain about the fact that John Cena won against Bray Wyatt in the Last Man Standing match. Now, I didn't see the pay-per-view, but that was the prediction I have. Let me give you my initiative one more time so that way everybody can understand where I'm coming from. At WrestleMania, I would expect it to be a good match between Bray Wyatt and John Cena. I would expect it to be where Bray Wyatt is going to put on a show, and that's exactly what he did. He put on a show. He gave everything he got and more. John Cena won the first battle. which that's what I quote the first battle. But Bray Wyatt would be the one to become the biggest star to ever come out of the WWE. Trust me, that's how I see things. And if the second encounter comes in at Extreme Rules, I expect Bray Wyatt to win. I expect him to win easily, just like that. Sure enough, the steel cage match comes along, and John Cena is this close to coming out of the cage, and then all of a sudden this kid comes in with a microphone in his hands, with a deep voice, and just so everybody can figure this out, the microphone, you can actually change your voice on the microphone. So no, the kid does not sound like that. All that other stuff, okay? The point is, John Cena would eventually lose to Bray Wyatt in a steel cage match, and it would be Bray Wyatt 1, Cena 2. So then, the moment I heard the last man standing match being put together between John Cena and Bray Wyatt, the first thing that came to my head was, John Cena's gonna win. And I kind of see it that way. Even though it's kind of a little bit of a disappointment, in a way, I kind of saw it. And for everyone else, everyone is bitching, whining, moaning, complaining about how the outcome of the match went. But at the same time, there are certain people that need to realize that Bray Wyatt is becoming a bigger star than John Cena. Because, hell, you know, I have been one of the biggest wrestling fans in the world for a long, long time. You don't just go ahead and just root for the bad guys or root for the good guys without knowing the initiative, without knowing exactly what's going to happen. You don't just go ahead and pay attention to what's going on in the internet community and to all the wrestling fans that think they know everything that they possibly need to understand. It's all about instincts. It's all about what you know and everything. Forget about the whole bad guy, good guy situation. It's all about the setup, the scenario, and how it all comes in the end for not just the wrestlers, but for the company as well. Think about it. John Cena wins, big deal, blah, blah, so what, who cares? Bray Wyatt was the one that came out a star at the very end of this entire scenario. So if anyone believes that John Cena was the true winner, honestly, I like John Cena, okay? But even I saw this coming, that John Cena would win, but Bray Wyatt would be the bigger star. And that's exactly what happened. So please, quit bitching, quit whining, quit moaning, and quit complaining. Because that is the way the internet wrestling community expects, which I'm going to bring a little bit more into it in just a moment. Let's get into another matchup that I wanted to talk about. The Evolution versus the Shield. And you know what? Does it surprise me that the Shield would win twice? No. The first time was awesome. The second time, Evolution truly thought that they were going to get the Shield, but even I saw it coming. Even I saw the fact that the Shield would beat Evolution. And then, during the entire time when my cable was out, I kept reading the reports on my Twitter. Everything from Batista quitting to a Plan A. And I wasn't sure what the Plan A was exactly. Now, everybody knows that the Shield will not last long. They won't last long as a group. Because my prediction was that the Shield would break up until SummerSlam arrives. That was the plan. Because the plan was to make Roman Reigns the bigger star of all of them. But in my opinion only, I feel that all three of the Shield should get a push. Not just Roman Reigns. I mean, don't get me wrong. Roman Reigns is a talent. Roman Reigns is great. Roman Reigns is a fucking shit. But you forget about the architect of the Shield, Seth Rollins. That dude is, you know, he is like, it's hard to combine his style, but it's kind of like a CM Punk versus AJ Styles versus, you know, somewhere in that particular nature. But Seth Rollins, great talent. I see big things for him. And of course, the Golden Mike Dean Ambrose, the wild card, the wild dog of the Shield. Him doing what he does and everything else like that. I always feel that all three members should be pushed, not just one. Because all three of them are great talents. Which now leads me to this. the ending of Raw. I didn't see the ending of Raw, but I did go to my YouTube. I went to my YouTube and checked out some of, not just my videos, but I went ahead and checked out some of the videos on WWE, including what happened with The Shield and Evolution. Now, Batista obviously quit, and there was something about a plan B that I wasn't aware of. So,